I spoke to you last year. I was working at a different company. I was trying to grow a local social network called Nextdoor around Europe, and we had tremendous success. And it was a tremendously rewarding journey for me. And one of the things that really happened during last year, as we locked down, was that we became more dependent on our neighborhoods. And so I found myself at Nextdoor working for a product that doubled its usage overnight. I became interested at that point in education technology myself, because I started teaching my kids at home. And I'd imagine there's a fair few people watching this who also did as well. And I'd be interested to hear your experiences. I want to try and leave enough time for questions so I can hear your experiences. But my experience was really, really mixed. There were some great resources and tools out there. But I also remember sitting with Toby, my 5-year-old, he was 4 at the time, and we were sent this game to play that taught him about recognizing letters. And I remember playing with him, and it involved a pirate ship, and the pirate, if he got it wrong, the pirate jumped into the sea, and there was some fun involved. And what I remember asking Toby about it afterwards, and what he really remembered about this experience was the game, not the teaching, not the learning. He remembered the game. And I think what struck me was that a lot of e-learning companies, a lot of education technology companies are focused on engagement. They're focused on how can we engage the child first, and then secondary, how can we teach the child? Where actually what I think is, and this is what really, really drew me to Linguimi and their founders, and to jump aboard and help them with their mission, is that teaching is actually a really, really engaging pastime itself, both for the teacher and for the learner. And Linguimi really tries to lean into teaching students remotely. And I think that's here to stay. But just a few facts as to where we are. So the effects of education establishments being closed has had far-reaching effects. World Bank estimates as many as nearly 2 billion students were out of school this year. About 90% of students globally, 600 million yet to return. Further than that, another 9 million who were at school before, they've estimated won't go back. That gives you an idea. Most of these institutions had no infrastructure beforehand. I don't know about you, but my older son, Theo, 7 years old, he now knows Microsoft Teams better than I do. He spent the first half of the Easter term getting so familiar with that software that while I would prefer it if he was spending time with his peers and learning to socialize as well, I think his digital skills really, really picked up a pace. But it's not every country that's been as fortunate as we have been in the United Kingdom to benefit from these. I think, the poorer countries have been the most adversely affected. I think something that's been really interesting at Linguimi, and Linguimi's primary product at the moment teaches English as a second language. So we don't particularly have a market in the United Kingdom for obvious reasons, but we've really picked up in Indonesia. And I think with the rise of machine learning, I think actually English as a second language is going to become even more important as a skill. And seeing growth somewhere like Indonesia gives us a lot of pause and a lot of idea of where can we take this in countries that are not as digitally literate as others, and perhaps have a lower GDP per capita as well. The government-led distant learning projects really, really moved last year. And this is to give you an idea of May 2020. The blue ones are the online only, the very, very beige ones are no program at all. You can see there in Africa through to July 2020 just how much this moved. But to give you an idea of what's happening there, just 19 million out of over 450 million children in Africa are using, and I'm going to use quote marks here, education technology, because most of these users of education technology are actually watching TV. There's still a massive disparity internationally in terms of access to digital equipment and access to internet. And that's something that really, really, really has to move at a pace if we're going to reach some sort of parity with online learning tools. So on to Linguimi. So our vision is to bring the world's best teaching experience to preschool children around the world through technology. And so this is really, really what we're really, really focused on, those three little words, best teaching experience. Most companies in our space talk about learning. For us, we really talk about teaching. We're trying to form a relationship between a teacher and a student because we think that that's important, and because we've seen that when we do that, the children has a much more engaged experience. They have a lot more fun in the teaching experience, but they also learn more, and they learn to speak English as opposed to just learn how to use an app as well. So this is what the app looks like. You've got a live teacher, and as mentioned, we have got a little bit of AI in the background there, that when you say an English word, when you say banana or apple, if you say it in a slightly wrong way with a slightly wrong accent, we will come back and ask you to say it again and give you encouragement. But the best way I can show you what Lingumi does, rather than talk about it anymore, is to show you a very, very quick video, which is about our latest teaching plan, which is introducing a new teacher called Teacher Hannah, and how she bonds with children and how this technology works.
Lingumi! In my Foundations course, your child learned hundreds of words and phrases. Now, it's time to apply those words and sentences to daily life conversations.
Hi, I'm Teacher Hannah. I can't wait to start a new Lingumi journey with you in my course.
The Basics Daily Life course with Teacher Hannah is designed for children who finish Foundations Level 2 or who have a basic level of English and who want to advance their sentence speaking skills.
The course teaches children useful sentences for real-life scenarios, such as daily life, around the house, around the kitchen, and pets.
I eat noodles. I can sing. It's amazing. It's easy.
Your child will be actively speaking throughout the lesson.
I eat vegetables.
And the teacher provides instant feedback.
Louder. Orange!
Orange. Orange.
They do this to encourage the child to speak English confidently. Thirdly, it features the kinds of interactive educational games that kids love.
That's a stick.
After finishing 40 lessons with me, your child will be able to express 38 new sentence structures confidently in their daily life, including 132 new sentences. Join my course now and bring English to daily life. I'm ready. How about you?
Wake up. I eat my breakfast.
You are amazing.
I can read.
Amazing! Well done.
Lingumi.
So what you would see there, a prompt from an actual teacher asking a child to say a word. So for the examples that we've given there are around the kitchen. So to say a word such as an apple or a banana. And then we use the machine learning technology in the background to give feedback to the child, so that we can then use the next stage to personalize that learning journey for a child, so that they can either move on to the next object, or that we can try them on perhaps a similar syllable with a different word, so that the learning journey continues. The idea I want to leave you with today is really this idea of a blended learning experience. I think blended learning is here to stay, and that's the kind of phrase I'd like to use. And I'd like to hear about people's experiences here as well. And so I personally become a great deal more involved in my kids' education. I'm not sure about you, but the future of our younger generations are filled with some quite meaningful setbacks. And so financial downturn, lack of jobs, potential recession, and they've heightened the need for this educational revolution. With parents and students demanding change, we're entering a new age of education, an age where the virtual and physical will collide, and a brave new generation of well-equipped students will help pick up the pieces of the economic and social fallout created by the pandemic. And I really think that this idea of blended learning, this idea of being able to attend a school, but also being able to learn at distance, will equip our children for the next phase in a way that they will be able to not only learn in educational institutions, but also from distance at home as well.